Okay, so today's episode is going to be the first of my Q&A responses. Thank you so much to everyone that obviously left one. I got more than I ever thought I would, to be fair, and there's some really, really good ones in there. I am going to try and answer every single question that was commented. I'm not going to be able to do them all in one video, so probably tomorrow's one will also be one. If one of the questions on there were, are you still at Chenretty Town, or whatever they are? No. No, I'm not. It's happened again. It's happened again. It's happened again, viewers. Oh, I'm sacked. Oh, again. You can't really argue with it, can you? To be fair, I mean, another without a win in 5. It's not good enough. I'll make that 6 actually. It's not good enough, is it? Annoyingly, actually, as well, I brought in a really, really good defender. Ironically, Blaine Hudson, we've coming in. He was rated at 4.5 stars. Looked like he could change our season around. I'm never going to get to see it. It'll be interesting to see how they get on. I enjoyed my time there. I was terrible. We had one decent sort of like period of the season. He will definitely be following me around, Jeff Lloyd. He is automatically now a kind of favourite of this save. Definitely want to carry him around with me if I can. But ultimately, I have to move on, and I've already applied for pretty much every job going, and I'm going to keep applying for them. And while I'm applying for them, I think the best thing for us to do is for me to answer some of the questions. But unfortunately, I still don't have my second monitor yet, so the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to be doing them on my sweet old phone, which has probably made more appearances on this channel than I have. Flint Town have already offered me a job interview, and as much as I would like to get back into a job, because obviously I've only got 30 years to do it, they're not doing particularly well, and they're in the same division. They're in the same division as my original club, Gilsfield, who are now up to 4th. Great. Yeah, Flint Town, they're in 14th. As much as I would like to go back, I'm not sure I should, because I don't think Wales suits me. But am I going to get another job in between now and then? I'm still studying for my course, which is excellent news. So I'm going to attend the interview, but first of all, let's go and get stuck into some questions. I'm hoping that I can actually insert the questions onto this, although as we've all seen from my videos, my editing skills are not brilliant. Right, I'm going to start from the top, okay? So this is literally out from the top as we go. Apologies if your question does not get read out today. I know people have put multiple ones in, so to be fair, what I'll end up trying to do is I'm going to answer every question on this. So at one stage or another, your question will get answered, okay? I'm also going to apologise if, for whatever reason, we've all seen, obviously from the fact I couldn't even pronounce my old club's name, that my pronunciations are not brilliant. So if I do misread your name, I'm terribly sorry. Right, away we go. Cooper Cool asks, would you ever consider making a FIFA career mode? This is one that did come up a couple of times, actually. The answer to that is yes. I would love to do a FIFA career mode. Well, love is a strong word. I would definitely want to do a FIFA career mode at one point or another. A lot of people want me to do one with Leicester. I would like to do one with Leicester because they're a team that I have a little bit... Well, I think Leicester are quite a lot of people's sort of like second teams, if that makes any sense. In my mind, I want to do Leicester next year in FM20. That's part of the problem, is that I want to do FM20 with Leicester next year. So doing a career mode and then doing an FM21 save with Leicester, is that too much of them? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I would definitely give it a go. It's weird trying to do an interview at the... Can you imagine me actually being in an interview and they're asking me questions and I'm just going, hang on, I've got to just answer this comment. Next, Milton Morgan. Who do you think will win the Champions League? I think Bayern Munich will win it this year. I think they've just hit this kind of like peak moment at the moment where they've got a lot of very, very good players in really, really good form, and it's about time they won it. They're more than good enough to win it. Maybe a little bit at the back, but going forward, they're incredible. So Bayern Munich for me. Just had a couple of really big interviews there, actually. I had one for Portadown. They're doing very well in the I can't remember what it's called now, the Niffle Championship or whatever it is, and then the other one was Hemel Hempstead, so that's pretty good. I've also got one here against for Limerick. I remember them. So while I'm attending the Limerick one, Rachel Ison asks, have you tempted to stream other games again? I noticed you've done a few FIFA and Fortnite videos in the past. Yeah, again, it kind of ties into the career mode. I think I would do FIFA again. It depends on what people would want. The only kind of FIFA mode I have played a little bit now is mainly duo co-op seasons with my mate Mike, and yeah, I know, and of pro clubs with a few friends as well. Career mode's not really interested me that much, but I would do that again. And Ultimate Team is something that I start off really enjoying, and then the minute I miss out on 2 weeks of it, and then you're just playing catch up, and I just don't really like the amount of gameplay, all the new cards, etc., etc. Just feel like it just ruins it for me. Just on the one at Limerick as well. This is going to be a very weird episode all put together. 2 questions here from Adam. Are you making any kind of money from YouTube yet? No. No, I don't have enough subscribers. I have enough in the watch time, but not enough in subscribers. To be fair, it's not the kind of thing I want to do until like I feel like I'm in a position where I could do this. One of the good things about being off at work at the moment is that this is kind of helping me realise what my life might be like if I did it as a full-time career. Literally at the moment I'm doing nothing but YouTube videos. So, no is the answer. I'm not. Favourite 3-course meal? Oh, now you're asking. Now, I eat a lot. I used to be very, very skinny, and now I'm getting a little bit chubbier. So it's probably not a good sign. I would always start with some sort of soup and a bacon sandwich, probably. A small bacon sarnie, not a massive one. Main meal, I might sound very traditional, but I love steak and chips. I absolutely love a good steak, seasonal veg, and chips. Especially if you get it with like a proper peppercorn sauce or like a JD glaze, so you know where I'm talking about. It's not sponsored by TGI Fridays, but if they want to sponsor this video, you know where to find me. And then dessert, eat and mess. Always, always, always eat and mess. Meringue, fruit, cream, bang. It's got everything. Love eat and mess. Or a lemon tart. I'm quite fruity. Well, Hammer Hems have said no to me. And it looks like Portadown have said no to me as well. So there's a few more jobs to apply for, so I'm going to quickly apply for them while I'm here. Right, another one from LCFC Ben. So I'm assuming that's probably is it Leicester City. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming you're a Leicester City fan, mate. I like this question. What is your best ever FM save off YouTube or on, and what year was it? For me, there's 2 of them. I can do one from both, to be fair, because I loved my Arsenal save, okay, because it's the one that built this channel. That's my favourite one. But your best ever FM save would be either on YouTube was one. It was the first ever FM save I did on this channel, which was West Ham. Called it Getting Hammered. It was, in terms of like the actual gameplay and everything, what I achieved, it was great. In terms of like the entertainment value, awful. It was one of those ones where I literally kind of went on, treated it like a Let's Play. I'm not going to say as a YouTuber because I'm not a YouTuber, but when you start making content that you really, really enjoy, like the stuff that I've made for Arsenal, when I'm doing sketches and I'm being myself and this, that and the other, and I'm being a lot more funny, that to me is much more enjoyable. But then when you look back at what you did at the start, when you're literally just like, you think it's all just about the amount of content that you get out, and you literally just, basically, for lack of a better phrase, you shit out loads of stuff that's alright but not brilliant and not really that enjoyable. It's the sort of stuff I wouldn't watch myself, and that's the most disappointing thing when I look back on it. In terms of what we achieved though, incredible. Yeah, it was FM18. Getting Hammered was FM18. The one offline would be a Liverpool save I think I did with FM15, I want to say. And basically, I won the league like 4 times in a row, won the Champions League 2 times in a row. So best ever was probably that one in terms of what I achieved, but in terms of trophies. But obviously, when you're Liverpool, you're a big team. It's a little bit easier to do. I think the West Ham taking a team that was sort of like there or thereabouts, and then getting them to become like multiple league winners and Champions League winners. Spoilers. That was probably the best achievement I did in FM, definitely. Still no word on the job front at the moment. I'm just having a look at what... Well, I'm not going to get taken over by Limerick. That's annoying. And who's replaced me at Letheran? I hope you're shit, mate. I really do. Another one from Cooper Cool here. Have you had any other YouTube channels before this one? I'll keep it brief, mate, because you already had another question in this episode. No, I haven't. This is the first one that I've done, as you can tell by some of the early content that I put on there. Some more here from Rachel, but actually, to be fair, this is a good one, because I think this will be good for any kind of newcomers to FM anyway. Best tips for someone who's only just starting out on FM? It depends on how big a football fan you are and how much you back yourself, if I'm honest. I would always recommend, to make sure that you actually sort of like enjoy what you're doing, I would always start with a team that is kind of expected to do very well, but is also built to do very well. So don't go for a team that has high expectations but ultimately may not have the squad to do it. So I'm thinking teams like Bayern Munich, maybe Sunderland in League One because their squad's built to win that. Maybe Fulham, in the Championship again, the squad, but the Championship is a very difficult division to start in. Man City, Liverpool, either of those two teams will suit you quite well. PSG is the obvious one. PSG is a very easy job. I mean that in the greatest of respects, but it is literally, there's no one else in the French league that it gets anywhere near them. Ultimately, you'll be judged on winning the league and winning the Champions League, but you can get away with not winning it. Plenty of managers have gone to PSG, won leagues, and not won the Champions League and stayed there for ages. So I'd recommend going for a team that is good, because what you want to do, winning is enjoyable. Okay, winning is enjoyable. Get yourself a team that wins quite regularly. Get yourself a tactic that you really like. Find some players like on the cheap that you think you could take into other saves, and then keep using those. And obviously, you'll find new players and this, that, and the other. But if you're completely new to it, find a team that's going to win a lot of games first and keep your enjoyment going, because there's nothing worse, and we can all testify for this, and we've all seen my channel, there is nothing worse than getting stuck in a losing rut that makes you not enjoy the game. I'm actually quite enjoying this. It's giving me a little bit of a break from management as well, which is quite exciting. Sloop's Love Child, which is a name I absolutely love, by the way. If I have to sign one player every save, who would it be? Oh, hello, Pontypridd's available. I'll take that. All I can do is talk about players that I've always signed, and the one that I nearly always sign in every save, if I can, because he's decent at any level. He can be a key player at some levels, and he can also be a really good squad option when you're a big club, is Brill Donald Mbolo. I absolutely love that man. On every single FM at one point or another, I have signed him, and he has never, ever let me down. He is just a brilliant player. So Brill Donald Mbolo for that one. I'm sorry, David, if I get this wrong, mate. David Alpha Diallo Barry, I hope I got that right. Are you going to stream on Twitch? I will at some point. If the only time I think I'd stream on Twitch is if I kind of got the option to become a full-time YouTuber. If I became a full-time YouTuber, or I had that much time, well, basically then I'd have more time to kind of dedicate myself to the saves, and then I'd also try and break into Twitch as well. At the moment, my audience is on YouTube, my work is on YouTube. A lot of things that I really enjoy. I'm new to streaming. If any of you have seen the FM Rangers stream save that we're doing at the moment, you'll know I'm kind of new to the whole streaming gig, and obviously Twitch is much more of that. I like the editing. It helps me with the comedy side of things, because it's all about comic timing. I can edit it to make it look funny, and this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? I can do my sketches and stuff. So at the moment, YouTube suits me more, but Twitch is definitely something I want to get into. Just got an off entity for Braintree there. It's very exciting. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this all together, by the way. Oh, I like the name. Nah, mate asks, what do you do in your downtime? Thanks for the great videos as well. Number one, you're very, very welcome. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it's nice to get some really good feedback. It does, actually. Every good comment I get literally just makes my day, to be fair. What do you do in your downtime? Play FM. Nah, a lot of what I do in my downtime, I watch a lot of football, I play a lot of games, I occasionally work out now and again, I eat a lot, I used to play music a lot, I listen to a lot of music. I like to go running. I kind of got into running a lot last year, and I did a few like 5k and 10k runs and bits like that, but since this has all kind of happened, it's kind of made me lose the motivation for doing it. I wish I could do a bit more. And I write a lot. I actually did a degree in writing, so sometimes I like to do that. It's probably where the sketches and everything come from. It's just like my creative side, so just stuff like that, really. You kind of general bloke stuff, really, more than anything else. I like playing games, but the majority now, I only really like playing games when I'm playing with other people. I'm a very social gamer now. It's another one from Rachel. Who is your inspiration in life? That's a tough one, actually. You've got the standard answers, and I mean, they are fair. Like, my dad is one of them, obviously. My mum, my close family in general. My granddad is a massive, or was a massive part of my life. Probably the most inspirational man I think I've ever met. He was literally just nuts. Like, some of the stories he could tell you were incredible. I don't have time to kind of divulge into them here, but yeah, probably my granddad. Outside of my family, Dr. Benji, who's another YouTuber, and I know it's weird, but he is a genuine inspiration to me, because he's a man that's come through some pretty hard times to do what he loves doing, and he's, well, I'll get onto the later, but he's one of the reasons why I do YouTube. So probably, yeah, outside of the family, him. Now, mate, got another question here. What type of music do you listen to? This could literally be an entire video in itself, as I think I replied to him as well, saying that. Anything. I know that quite a lot of people say that, like, oh, I'm eclectic, but they're not really. What they mean is, it's like a differentiation of hip-hop or a differentiation of rock. It's a bit like, oh, I listen to Nickelback, but like, I also listen to Arctic Monkeys, and you're just like, it's, you know, you're basically saying the same thing. If you were to look at my Spotify, literally my Spotify ranges from like Bon Iver to Metallica, and then it ranges from Carly Rae Jepsen to Run DMC, and then the best one I can think of is I've got like Celine Dion, right, and then I've got like Disturbed and Slipknot and stuff like that. My favourite artist at the moment would be I am quite a rock guy. I used to be in a band, so like, I'm kind of like just that way inclined. 1975, literally at the moment, probably my favourite band. I just think they're brilliant. I like what they stand for as well, which is quite good. Foals, best band I've ever seen live, genuinely incredible. I do like Carly Rae Jepsen, I will not lie, and I have no reason to lie. I'm proud of it. Up the Jeppers. Harry Styles as well. Guy is an absolute beast. He's my man crush at the moment. I was trying to think of who it was yesterday. I said Henry Cavill, it's Harry Styles, but I think everyone's got that. I've not really got very far in the game. I've been too busy just sort of like enjoying just going through these questions. I've been really looking forward to this. Oh god, hang on, I've got an interview with Pontypridd. I need to focus on this because it's a job I could actually get. Okay, here we go, some other ones. Cristiano Harcelo, I hope I pronounced that right, mate. Sorry if I haven't. Got a few questions here, which are quite good. Why do you support Liverpool? Is question number one. Michael Owen is the answer to that. I first started watching football back in 1998 at the World Cup. I watched a few bits before that because obviously my family like football. I am the way that I am. Mum's a West Ham fan, Dad's a Villa fan, and we were sat down watching the Premier League, and I used to watch it, and I had a bit of a soft spot for Leeds at the start, but I never really got into it. I couldn't name you like the players and stuff, and I never really took that much of an interest in it. Loved playing, just didn't watch it. But then I watched the World Cup because it's England. Everyone can get behind England in the World Cup, can't they? And then I watched that goal, the Michael Owen goal against Argentina. I remember everyone going mental in my nan and granddad's lounge, and I remember being like, God, I want to be like him. And I went off and I basically became obsessed. I had a thing about like football, like about sportsmen that's name was Michael, because I kind of felt like, oh, he must be related to me, but it wasn't, obviously. And then it turned out me and him had the same birthday. I bought Michael Owen Soccer Skills video, absolutely incredible. And yeah, and obviously found out he played for Liverpool. That was that. And after that, then, even though he became a bit of a Judas and left, no, never ever had a problem ever since then. Never thought about supporting another team ever. Next question: what do you do for a living whilst not raging at FM? What am I? I really had to think about that there. I am an operations coordinator for a company that works in the home leisure industry. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what it is that I do, but basically I work with holiday homes and just basically making things work. It's as exciting as it sounds. Do you play football in real life? If so, what position? I used to play football absolutely loads, like literally all the time, everywhere. Playground, I was always the guy that had the ball in the back of the car or wanted to set up a game or this, that and the other. And I remember I used to have to cycle over to where all my mates lived in a nearby town, because I lived in the arse end of nowhere, so I literally always had to cycle over to them, and it used to take me about 50 minutes to get there, but I did it like pretty much every Saturday, and then went on and played the game. I must have been so fit back then, just thinking about that now. I did play 11-a-side for a brief period of time, but then because of my stature, like I'd never played 11-a-side, and I tried to do it when I was like 26, 27, so by that point it was a completely different thing to me. So I never really got into it, but I always used to play. You could literally play me anywhere. I played 5-a-side and 7-a-side. I've played that pretty much every day since I was like 12. I started off as a defender because I'm quite aggressive. Could you ever imagine? Yeah, I won't tell you the story about how I nearly broke some kid's ankle when I was like 13. He basically tried to nutmeg me. I wasn't having any of that. And so yeah, I because I was naturally aggressive, they used to play me kind of as a holding midfielder or a ball-winning box-to-box midfielder. I'd literally just go around smacking people off the ball and just winning it and then passing it away. That was what I used to do. But as I got older, it turned out I had really quick feet and I was quite pacey. So I ended up kind of being one of those sort of like, if I was in Football Manager terms, an inside forward on the left-hand side, because I have no left foot, but I just used to cut into my right all the time because I had quick feet. Most of the time I could get round players. And last one from him here, pop culture. I love TV and film. Oh, mate, I absolutely love it. Pop culture is me. Obviously, if you've seen my saves and everything, then you know that I'm a massive fan of pop culture. I love TV and film. If you do, give me your favourite TV show and film. Favourite TV show would probably be overall now, it would be Game of Thrones. I know it's a very kind of like stereotypical answer. I like The Wire as well. Was absolutely banging show. Breaking Bad's very good. The Walking Dead, the first 6 seasons of that were incredible. After that, it kind of tailed off a little bit for me. And my favourite film as well. I have a few favourite films. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Absolutely adore it. I love Titanic. It's one of my go-to films. I can pretty much quote you that film from start to finish. As you can tell, I'm quite good at quoting. I come up with a lot of like references because for whatever reason things seem to get stuck in my head. I'm actually going to see if I can delay this job for a week. Alright, probably would have agreed to it. I just want to see if there's anything else that's not in Wales I could take. Thank you for the questions, mate. They were brilliant. Mikey Focus. 1. What were your favourite computer games growing up? Final Fantasy and FIFA. And by Fantasy I mean Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 10. Absolutely banging games. And Time Splitters. I used to love Time Splitters. It was like the first shooter I ever played and I loved it. Absolutely adored it. What 4 guests are your fantasy games? I'm going to go with living for the time being. Lionel Richie. I'm a huge fan of Lionel Richie, as I'm pretty sure most of you are aware. Professor Brian Cox. Man, I have a lot of love. Jurgen Klopp. I'd have to have him there because it's Jurgen. Do you know what I mean? Probably Matty Healy from the 1975 because I think that you could have a very kind of in-depth intellectual conversation with him, and then Jurgen would probably just go ah ha ha ha, and then they're like laughing. Number 3. Name some improvements for the FM and FIFA games. Right. Okay. I'll start with FM because obviously that's kind of like my bread and butter on the channel. It's hard because there isn't a difficulty setting on FM, which I love, and at the same time I don't, because I feel like it puts a lot of people off when they don't do very well at the game. So I think it could have a wider audience. A lot of people have said, oh, it's like playing a spreadsheet and you're not in control of anything. It's really difficult. And that puts a lot of the audience off. And I get that that means that there's a lot of a hardcore audience, but for those that are trying to get into the game and then kind of want to like learn the tactics and the way that the game works, rather than just kind of being like flung in at the deep end, I'd recommend maybe having like a kind of like difficulty level on it. The bugs in the game engine would be good. Obviously, the goalkeepers need improving because the goalkeepers on this are absolutely atrocious. It's either one way or the other. They're either brilliant or they're rubbish. There's no kind of like in between on them. They fixed like the one-on-one patch earlier on in the season. Most of the time, they're pretty good at like they fix patches quite quickly, so it's not too much of an issue. And other than that, I'm not really that. But I'd like to get FM'd a little less, and by that I mean having all the chances and then not getting anywhere. I mean that would be good. And improvements for FIFA games, I mean, where do you start? Career mode could do like a total overhaul. It needs, I know that they've now done dynamic potential, but it needs more like narrative. It needs a bit more immersion. I remember back in the old days of FIFA where you could improve your stadium, you could improve your scouts, your coaches, and that would help you kind of get your teams better. Basically, it needs to incorporate some of the things that are on FM. It needs to incorporate into the game because the actual game itself is pretty good. The gameplay on it, well, I say it's solid. It's a bit bullshitty, but it's solid. They need to work out the bouncing mechanics, and by that I mean the physical mechanics of everything. If you're short and nippy, but you've got a strength of 53, it doesn't make any sense how you can knock someone off who's got strength of like 72 and is only a little bit taller than you, but because he's quicker than you, you literally, whenever the ball bounces, it always falls back to the bloke. Does my absolute head in. Ultimate Team is great, but it needs to be less pay to win. I have to say it, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, but they'll never do it because it's EA and all they give a shit about is just turning every profit on their customers. So, yeah. Online tournaments would be good as well, that you can just play with your mates would be quite fun, if you could just set those up. Do you remember the old FIFA Lounge? That used to be amazing. Max Bulldog asks, what do you consider your greatest signing on FM ever? It can be due to value or just sheer ability. Who has been the biggest flop you've ever signed? First one is easy. Brenner. I signed him in my West Ham save, and he was nuts. It was literally at least 25 to 30 goals a season, along with about 20 to 30 assists a season. He was just unplayable. I had him and Fear up front in a 5-2-1-2 formation, and they just wrecked everybody. And I got him for an absolute snip as well. I think I got him for like 5 million or something. He was absolutely insane. So Brenner, who I nicknamed Kenneth Brenner, funnily enough. I say we take the Pontypridd job. I know that I don't want to be in Wales that much, but it's to finish in the top 2 places. Whereabouts are they? It's a team I know quite well as well. I've got Andy Owens up front. It's a team I know quite well. I'm going to say yes to Pontypridd. So we're going back to Wales, guys. We're going back one last time. So what we have to do, finish in the top 2 places. And then get to the Premier next year. Wait, what? How am I meant to get to the Premier if I'm in the top 2 places? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Is there a playoff or something? Look at that for a wage budget. This is beauty. Right, I need to sit down. We'll have a think about this all the way through. I don't even have a left back, so that's a good start. Right, okay. Well, we'll definitely figure this out. And at the back, again, is a normal problem. Kel Surprise. We'll definitely look at that then. But before we go, let's just answer a few Q&As, because we know I'm at Pontypridd now, and then I can sit back and then do a few more. I can look at the team offline, look at it properly, but I'm interested in answering these, so I hope you guys don't mind if I just sit here and answer questions, if that's alright. And we'll just do it as a big special, why not? Biggest flop I've ever signed, I'm going to say Jadon Sancho for Arsenal. He was absolutely atrocious. Louise Crane, are you gutted that National League and below have been cancelled? Yes, I am. I can understand in some departments why, but at the same time, I think that they are literally sacrificing the livelihoods of a lot of those clubs by not giving them, you know, the gate receipts, the potential cup money. You know, there's a lot of tournaments that need to be finished. The money that they get goes towards it every year, so a lot of clubs may go out of business for that. The only way I can see that working is if the Premier League and the FA come up with a sort of not a redundancy policy, a contingency plan to give those clubs money, because they need money to survive. And the last thing we need is grassroots teams and lower league, or not lower league, but non-league teams going out of business. It doesn't help the football pyramid in the slightest, and it literally just shows all the cracks that the FA have at the moment and basically where their priorities lie. God, that was very cynical of me, wasn't it? Disney Affinity, would you please do a Leicester City career mode, please? Touched on it earlier. I will do one. If people want me to do a FIFA 20 career mode with Leicester, I will do it, because it is a team I would really, really like to get my hands on, and I think we could have quite a successful, good, fun time with it. And I'd also do it on ultimate difficulty, just to make it a little bit more interesting. If you want that, let me know in the comment section. This is a good one to kind of finish the episode on as well. Why the name MikeRo? I'm guessing your name is Mike, but why the Ro Munch part? This is another good one, Adam. Thank you for asking me this, mate. I promise to all of you, I will do the rest of all of your questions in the next episode. So, why the name MikeRo? It basically came from the fact that I always wanted to have my name in the title, and obviously my name is Mike. It's Michael, but Mike, please. If I'm only Michael if I'm in trouble. That's such a stereotypical joke. The Ro Munch part basically stems from my granddad and my family. Not my family, as in my mum, my dad, my 2 sisters. They always used to call me Mike or Mikey. My granddad and my extended family, as in my aunts, my uncles, but especially my granddad, call me Mike Munch or Michael Munch. And so, obviously, it's kind of like a family nickname that stood. Even now, occasionally, I'll get called it. Do you know what I mean? By them. So, it's always had a bit of a special place to me. But my granddad, who, like I said, is a big inspiration in my life and is a big part of the reason I am who I am, he used to call me Munch. And he passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago now. And so, in my mind, it's a good way of sort of remembering a lot of good memories I have of him and of my related family. And the Ro Munch bit, the MikeRo bit comes because A, it sounds quite cool, and B, I'm quite short. Sorry to anyone else that's like 5'9" and 5'10". You know, we can say that we're average height, but when you've got 2 6'7" mates that you go on nights out with, you feel like a short arse. So that's where it comes from. It comes from the fact I wanted to make a note to my granddad, and it also holds a special place in my heart, because it's family, and he was a massive, massive part of my life, and I miss him every single day. This has been a very emotional kind of Q&A. Like I said, we'll definitely get onto the rest of the Q&As in the next episode, where obviously I will have done a bit more on Pontypridd. We can have a bit through a walkthrough there. I think I've only got like 5 or 6 questions left to answer. I'm really sorry if I didn't get to your questions in today's episode. I promise you, I will get through the rest of them in the next one. I've made a marker of where it is, and I promise I will get through to the next ones in the next episode. Long story short, in all of that, after all that blethering, is that I'm actually now manager of Pontypridd. So, excellent. We've got a night. Ooh, do we play them? Bollocks, no, we don't play. Oh, we have to play Undy again, for God's sake. Where are we in the Kimmeray South? Or North, right? No, it is South. Okay, we're only 3 points off Athenlido in second. So I will have a little look through this, see what I can find, and see if we can get Pontypridd up. We're apparently meant to try and get the top 2 positions. How easy that is, I do not know. I'm going to go away, have a look at the squad, see what I can sort out, and then we will come back for the next episode where we'll have our first game in charge of Pontypridd. And most importantly, we will also have the rest of the Q&A questions. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, please do like, share, and subscribe. I hope you've all got to know me a bit better, and hopefully I'll get to know you guys better as the community continues to grow and we do more streams, because I like chatting to you all on those. So just thank you so much for everything you've done for me. Thank you for making this channel great. Thank you for being part of a wonderful community. And until I see you in the next episode, where I'll be finishing off your questions and taking on our first game of Pontypridd. Stay cool.